This is a Chris Tomlin song called How Great Is Our God. It's a great first song to learn on the guitar, especially for people who are using easy chords like this G. How great is our God. Sing with me, how great. E minor is our God. You can also play just this E minor. Is our God, and all will sing how great is our God. Now those are easy chords. Here's an intermediate level situation. The splendor of a king, clothed in majesty, let all the earth rejoice, let all the world rejoice. He wraps himself in light, darkness tries to hide the trembles of his voice, trembles of his voice. How great is our God? Sing with me, how great is our God, and all will see how great is our God. And as I discussed in my first video on Holy, 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 you want to try and capture the melody of the song as you're playing these chords. For example, on the C chord, you saw me add the pinky. Da da da, his voice, because that's in the melody. All right? You kind of want to let that be the last note you hit, which we call the melody is on top. On top actually looks like it's on the bottom on the guitar, but in musical notation, the highest note is on top. The lower notes are on the bottom of the treble clef. So when we're playing the C chord, let's start over. The splendor of the King. There it is again. The splendor of the King. In majesty. You can do the same thing on the E minor. Leave your pinky on the second string on that D. Now this applies not so much on a stage with a lot of loud instruments. This applies more in small group settings in house churches or home churches, whatever your situation, or family gatherings or campfire. You kind of want to tone it down. That's why I use the nylon string a lot of times. It's not as brash during a small setting. And so you're able to do more creative things because you don't have to worry about the big band. It's mostly vocals. Clothed in, let all the world rejoice. Let all the world rejoice. So you can, see how I did that? All the world rejoice, all the world rejoice. Now, even if you're playing in a little bit bigger band, you can do that, because actually vocally what's happening in the melody, you are playing a C major 7. All the major 7. What happens when you're singing a major 7, which is an open second string, B note, and you're playing C major? This is what's happening. Here's your C, and here's your B. That's called dissonance. Dissonance, if I can say it right. You want to try and avoid that when you're playing guitar or any instrument, unless it's intentional, like in a jazz setting, but we're talking about Christian worship here, and there's usually not a lot of dissonance in Christian worship, except during special parts where there might be an acoustic solo or this, that, and the other. But while you're leading worship, you don't want to play a C major when you're singing a major 7, 1, 7, 1, 7, 1, 7. Let all the world rejoice. So now that I've ruined this song for you, sorry, I'm just being honest. It's nice to have the guitar match the melody when possible, especially in a group situation, especially in a small setting. But this is a fun song. For beginners, you only have G, E minor, then the 4 chord, which is C, and then the D. All right. That's probably the hardest transition, is going from the G to the D. Now, if you play the G with your 3rd finger on the 2nd string, you can let that sit and not move it. It's a lot less work to do that than this. Or this. When all your fingers are changing, you know. Try and think of not shortcuts, but smooth transitions where there's less movement on the guitar when possible, less squeak noise, and play more ergonomically. God bless you. Hope you enjoyed this, and leave comments if you have any questions, and maybe we can do a part 2 for further clarification. Take care now. Bye-bye.